Hello, this is Dennis McDonald with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can get us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. And I want to show you a customer's telephone. This is a AT&T, and the model number is a QCP-31. And what this telephone is a speakerphone. It's a professional or commercial grade speakerphone, conference type phone. And the customer complained of this telephone when you would push the speakerphone option. When you would push the speakerphone option right here, when you would push that, the speaker would not come on, and you could not hear the speaker. And no matter what you did for the volume, you could not hear the speaker. And basically what has happened to this telephone is, you can see this telephone is quite elaborate. We did another video on this telephone, and here is a bunch of mic connections and speaker connections and the power connection, and off and on internal mic and off and on internal speaker. So it's a very elaborate commercial type grade telephone, and there is a ton of electronics to this telephone. You can't get schematics to things like this, so you basically have to rely on your experience that you have gathered through the years, and you just have to go into this board and start troubleshooting. This is kind of the front plate to this telephone, and I want to show you the back of it, because that's where the speaker is held. The speaker is right there. But anyway, I want to set some of this aside so I can show you what it comes down to after we did our troubleshooting and going through this board. Is there's an amplification stage, and it comes down, that speaker sits right here on the body part. It sits right here, and it gets plugged in. This board here gets plugged into this ribbon cable. So this board is attached to this board by this ribbon cable. You have to troubleshoot all of the components that run down through this ribbon cable that have something to do with the speaker amplification. And that all runs through these chips and back over here from this processor. So we had to kind of track all that down and see where we were at and what we had to do. And what we came up with was, back on this side of the board, I'm going to turn this over gently. Right in this area, right here, this chip was locked up, and we were able to unlock this chip. Now, when you have power surges, I talked to the customer, and the customer said he remembers, I asked him about some power surges and some lightning, and he remembers having a lot of storms around the area around the same time this telephone went out. And we found this chip was locked up, and basically these two chips in this area were causing the problem, and we were able to unlock the chip, but the circuitry is damaged enough that where you turn on, when you turn the phone on and you lift up the handset, what happens is, you can lift up the handset, but we get a little bleed over voltage into the speaker. So when you lift up the handset, you kind of hear this speaker noise. You kind of hear the speaker here. You hear a little bit of the speaker, and that's not supposed to be. When you lift up the handset, you shouldn't hear the speakerphone at all, but you can hear a little bit of the audio from the speaker. So basically what's happened is, it's a little bleed over voltage, and it's because the board is damaged. The electronics is damaged slightly. Now that we got the chip unlocked here and got the circuitry working to where it's supposed to be, and we've unplugged the phone several times and let the phone sit, we've drained the voltage out of the phone, so we know that every time we plug this phone in, the voltage is going to go back, or everything is going to reset itself, and it's going to work. Sometimes these guys that work on these telephones think they've got something fixed, and then they will unplug the voltage to it, and the phone will sit a couple of days, and then the customer comes and picks it up, and then they go to plug it in, and nothing works exactly like it did the last time the tech worked on it. And that's because when the voltages drain out of this stuff, the chips can set up differently each time. So you want to be careful and really check these phones out for a period of time and apply voltage and unapply voltage and drain the voltage, and you want to make sure that these processors and these IC chips set up exactly the way they did the last time you worked on them, or you're going to have a problem. And we've done all that, so we know this board is going to set up the same every time now, but we do have that small part of the electronics that are damaged, and we cannot locate that. It's just very difficult to find a minute bleed over voltage, and it's just sending a little audio into the speaker when you pick up the handset, and that's not supposed to be. So we're going to take care of that problem, and that's what I want to show you here. This is where the handset would normally sit, and here's your hook switch. Okay, and so on the back side of that hook switch, I want to turn this board over so that you can see the hook switch. On this hook switch here, this hook switch lever, when this phone is all put together, or this piece is going to be sitting here like this piece will sit here like this, and right now it's kind of upside down, but we have installed a little finger switch. So basically what's going to happen here is the hook switch is actually going to hit this switch here, and that's going to, when the handset is in the up position, when the handset is taken off of the hook switch, what's going to happen is this switch is going to open, and when it opens, it's going to break the speaker connection apart so that the speaker will no longer work, because you don't use a speakerphone when the handset's up. So this is a perfectly a logical, ideal, or way to take care of the problem, because when the handset is off of the hook switch, this disconnects the speaker line, so you will not get that bleed over any longer. And I want to show you what we do is we use an epoxy. We use several different kinds of epoxies here, but and an epoxy that I have found that works very well and gets hard really quick, so that you can continue working. This epoxy here is hard now, and I only mixed it about 15 minutes ago, and it's this type of an epoxy right here. Basically what it is it's that epoxy material that has that center that's a different color, and then the outside is a more gray color. And I've seen this in different colors, but what you do is you slice off a piece of this epoxy, and then what you do is you kind of knead it together like dough, and you do that for a few minutes, and it comes in these tubes like this. I've also seen this stuff on TV too. So anyway, basically you knead it together, and then you start using it, and this stuff gets hard within a short amount of time. So now this is not going to hold me up. In the old days, you had to mix a couple of epoxies together and then wait for them to dry overnight. But anyway, we're going to show you a little more of this repair, and I'm going to have to solder some wires onto this over to the speaker, and we'll get that all taken care of. But thank you for watching. We've run out of time here, and we appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed it, and thank you, and goodbye.